guys, it's Amy at Zoe back, and I'm going to do my February TBR. So I did really try this month to kind of shorten the list. I mean, I read a lot in January. I'm not exactly sure how much I said I was going to read and then I read, and you know, that vice versa. When I do a statistics video here in another day or two, I'll check that out. But this month I knew I was going to read some really big books, and I wanted to be kind of open with my time to do that. So I didn't want to put a big list here. So even though I said that, I have a stack of 8 books beside me. I don't plan to read all 8 of these books because some of these are huge. The only thing is that as a planner scheduler in my real life, you know, in my job, I plan what I'm going to read next, a lot of times the next book that I'm going to read. And sometimes that doesn't work out, and then I switch to something else. So I always have a couple of options. So I like give myself plan A, B, and C kind of thing. So I do that at work all the time because things don't happen like you think they're going to. So I always have a backup plan. Well, I do the same thing with my reading. I'm finding when I stop to think about it, I should have known I did that, but anyway. So I'm going to show you the 4 books that I for sure would like to read. Like, these are the top 4 that I'm going to read. And then I have 3 backups, and then the 1 book that I'm rereading whenever I feel like it. So the first book I'm reading is my nonfiction pick, which is On the Map by Simon Garfield. This is I've only read about 70 pages, so it's a book I'm dipping in and out of. Probably read like a chapter a night or every other night. It's talking about the history of how maps were created from ancient times, and right now we're in about 1400s. So I'm not sure farther on in this how much detail will go on farther, because again, the book is over 400 pages, and I'm 70 pages in, but I'm already at the 1400s, so I'm not quite sure how this is going to go and how much else he's going to talk about. I really like this book because of all the pictures of the maps, and it's kind of interactive because you get to kind of see things. I don't know, I kind of like that. As I said, I love maps. I love maps in books and stuff, so it's pretty cool. So anyway, so that's my nonfiction pick. So and one of the map books that I want to get to this year, because I have several. If you've seen my top nonfiction books I want to read, that's that. The other book that I'm focusing on right now is The City Stained Red by Sam Sykes. This is the first book in Bring Down Heaven series, and this is epic fantasy at its funniest. I love these characters. They are hilarious. They're often adventurers that are off doing other things, and they've come back to the city because they're trying to get paid by the guy who sent them out the last time. So it's actually, I'm not sure where this is going. I'm only about 70 pages in as well, which is kind of funny, but I'm still just getting into it. It's about 600 pages, so it'll be a while. It'll be a long read. But I have the whole series if I do want to binge it, but I don't think I will. I'll probably wait a month or so to get back to this. But at this point, I'm really enjoying it, so who knows what'll happen. But I really enjoyed this series. I liked his last series as well, the Eon Gate series, which was a trilogy before this with the same characters. But he claims you can jump right in, but I'm not sure. I want to know if other people who have read this book, if they read the other series. I really enjoyed the other series, so, you know, but that was when they were out doing adventures, and so it's kind of interesting, the difference. But I don't know, that'll be more discussion, I guess, in the wrap-ups. But for right now, I mean, I know these characters enough that it's fun, and I'm already really enjoying this. So those are the ones I'm reading right now. And then I figured I needed kind of a fluffy book, or something that was just kind of for fun, and I would read kind of in between these and another book that's going to be kind of big. So I know right now, I think it's Cozy-a-thon is going on, and I know Contemporary-a-thon is going on in, I'm thinking 2 weeks or a week and a half or whatever. So I'm not really going to participate probably in those because of the books that I'm reading this month. But I do have one book that I would say is contemporary that I would like to get to this month. That's I guess, I don't know if it's considered a romance. I just hear it's really funny. So, and that is Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. I've been wanting to read this for a while. Again, it's a woman goes with her boyfriend to Singapore and finds out that he's from a really rich family and they're all crazy, I think. I don't know. So it sounds really good. I hear that the series is really well done. So I want to get to at least the first book, because I think they are making a movie on this, but that's really not why I want to read this. I just want to read it because it sounded fun. So I thought this would be a good kind of lighthearted, something in the middle to read. So that's kind of my February pick for if I want to do something contemporary, which isn't normal for me. So anyway, we'll try that. And then the last book that I for sure want to at least start in February is my classics pick, and that is The Three Musketeers by Alexander Dumas. So I am rereading this for the first time in probably about 15 years. I think it's been a while since I read it last time. So at least 10. But I think it's closer to 15 now, which when you start adding up time, I'm like, where did that time go? Anyway, so yes, and this is my really corny 91 cover. It's hilarious. I obviously bought this in high school. I did actually read this the first time in high school. So my first copy was either a library book copy or something else, because I did not read this first, but I have read this copy again, or my second time I read it, but still I think I bought it because of the movie, but I'd read the book already. So cheesy. Anyway, it's probably my cheesiest cover. Anyway, and I can't justify buying another copy right now. So anyway, so we all know the story of the Three Musketeers. I'd like to think is a classic about D'Artagnan and the Three Musketeers, and they're saving France and all that stuff. Anyway, so the point is I really want to get to this this month, because my goal this year, my goals video, was that I want to at least continue on in the D'Artagnan series. And again, I've only read the Three Musketeers a couple of times, and I've never continued on. So I would really like to actually continue into this series. Now, this series is a lot longer than I thought it was. For years, I only thought there were 3 books, and then I found out there was a 4th book that was broken up into 2 parts. And now I just found out that when he died, he was in the middle of writing another book, and it's huge. I mean, he didn't finish, but we have a part of the story. So I'm probably gonna read that too, but last, because he didn't finish it. But that means I have 6 books to read that I know of. Do you guys know of any more? Are there more than 6? Because if there are more than 6, I'm in trouble, because I've only found 6. So let me know. Anyway, but I want to get to the first one so I can continue the series. Or to actually, get more of the series than just the original Three Musketeers. So those are the books that I for sure want to read in February. As I said, mostly the last one I'm not sure I'll get done in February, but at least I want to start it in February. So then I have my reread. So I plan to dip in and out of this when I don't feel like reading one of the other books, or I'm just tired, or if I get sick, how your mind just wants to read something more casual, not have to think about too much. And I'm going to read Just One Damn Thing After Another by Jodi Taylor. I'm still trying to reread this from January. I only read about 50 pages. I read so much in January that I didn't feel the need to pick up a reread. So I do reread a lot, so that's not anything new, but this is the one I would like to read and get it so I can read the next book in the series and continue on, like not let myself stall out like I did. Why I read this one and then I didn't pick up another book. So I want to continue on with that one. And again, this is Time Traveling Historians. It's the Chronicles of St. Mary's. Awesome series. I love that series. So then the next 3 books are pretty much far out there, like this is probably not going to happen. And these are probably all going to be on my March TBR, but I'm just going to put them out there as they're all my backup plans. As I said, backup plan B, C, and D. And the first one is one because everybody's probably reading a lot of Ursula K. Le Guin this next month due to her us losing her recently. So Left-Handed Darkness is one of those books that I've always heard about and people told me to read, and I never did because I had a bad experience with The Dispossessed in college, and I had it in a class and I hated the book. And this past year I had to read it for my book club, and I reread it because I did not remember a single word of it. Like, I must have blocked it out so much. because I did not enjoy it as a 20-year-old, but as I said, I read it last year and I really not enjoyed it, but I got it. Like, I understood more now. Okay, now I see why people talk about this, or why this isn't, you know, a book that people should read, you know, like science fiction and stuff. So I still can't say that I loved it, but at least I understood better. But Left Hand of Darkness is one of those ones where I always wanted to pick it up, but I was thrown off because, again, it was the author of The Dispossessed, and I had this in my head that I hated that book. So I want to give it a shot and at least try to read that book. And then the last two are kind of those ones that have been hanging on my TBR for currently reading for 2 months. And the first one is The Traitor's Blade by Sebastian couldn't combine the words, Sebastian de Castell. And this is kind of a Three Musketeers inspired fantasy with three guys, kind of like the buddy movie kind of thing. And so I kind of want to read this, and like I said, I started this in December, but then when I got really sick, I kind of lost the thread, and I have to probably go back and read a little bit of that. But this is, again, one of my 5-star prediction books, so I do want to get to this. And then the other one is The Grace of Kings by Ken Liu. Again, another one of my 5-star prediction books that I need to finish so I can wrap those all up. This is the Silk Punk, Eastern-inspired fantasy. I hear it's really good. I know it has to do with two guys who I think they're growing up and deciding how they want to change the empire and probably the world or whatever. So I hear they're really, really good, and I want to get to this. I just haven't. So I do have this on audio book. I do have this. So I might be listening to this in my car. I haven't listened to an audiobook in a little over a week, I think, after I finished my last one. So I might be ready by next week to start something in the car. I'm not sure if fantasy is where I want to go because of what I'm reading, but we'll see. This might be the book I pick up in the car to get that done. So those are all the books I would like to read, and that you know, I'm ambitious. I admit it. These are the ones, though, for sure. For sure. Are they upside down? I don't know. Upside down. There it is. Whatever. They're books. Whatever. I don't know. I mean, as I said, it's plan B, C, and D, you know, and I don't know. Maybe I'm not making sense. What are you guys reading for February? Are you guys doing some of those the readathons that are going on this month? Again, this month I'm probably not going to join any because of that, but, because of what I'm reading, I meant. I mean, like, I already have plans for this, and I've been thinking about this for the last month or so at least. I wanted to get to these all in February. That's been the goal. So anyway, what are you guys reading? Anything good? Let me know. Talk to you guys later. Bye.